So first of all, thanks to Ruchi Bengaluru, she has come all the way from MS Building Vijayanagar to give you guys all the advices and suggestions. She's got 38th rank in our 39th rank, Ruchi Bengalanta. So, and I'm Keerthana, Nanu Karnataka, and I got 167th rank. One common thing between me and Ruchi is we have given multiple attempts. Nanu clear ಆಗಿದ್ದು 6th attempt ಅಲ್ಲಿ, and Ruchi cleared 5th attempt. And ನಾನು so for me ಈಗ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ I mean all of you are going to interview, so that one pressure ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, especially when we have faced this journey too many times. So we thought, especially Madam was thinking that we'll help in whatever way we can, because at this point of time you guys need this awareness basically. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So here we are. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ you guys can ask. You got your interview dates?
Not yet.
Not yet. ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay.
No, I think it's better we ask them only what are the questions. Yeah, first, congratulations to all of you. Keerthana has already introduced me. I'm not from Karnataka, I'm from Rajasthan. So if you have any doubts regarding interview, then you can ask both of us. We'll be happy to answer.
I think in this international relations, what stand should we take as India stand? Suppose Ukraine and Russia's war.
Yeah, you should always take the stand what a country is taking. It's always better to go through the press notes of Ministry of External Affairs, go through the press notes, see the keywords that you're using. So even in one sentence, one word can make different sense to you. It can make a different sense in a diplomatic terms. So it's always nice to read the press notes that are released by Ministry of External Affairs. So that should be your stand. But more or less what I think is, with respect to international relations, they will put you in position. Let's say if you are the leader of Israel, would you have stopped the war? What will be your stand to it? So I'm asking you, if you are the leader of Israel, what would be your stand?
Leader of Israel?
Yeah, would you have stopped the war, right?
War between Ukraine
Israel,
and
yes, Israel and Palestine.
Israel and
Palestine, yeah.
It is. I would first check the consequences.
Yeah.
And then analyze the plan.
Yeah.
And then move forward. Decision of several stakeholders are necessary.
Exactly.
My alone decision is taking my own stand is not correct.
Yes,
true. The first point.
So you make a very good point that you will consult all these stakeholders. So you can also frame it better in the sense that personally I would want to stop the war.
Yeah.
But professionally, I would like to take into account the views of all the stakeholders, my country, other international repercussions of your stand, and how the international community will react to me, my stand of stopping the war. So you can frame it better. Personally, you have to say that yes, I would like to stop the war. Yeah. But professionally, I would like to seek the stakeholders' opinion. So like that, I think in international relations, they basically ask situation-based questions only.
They'll ask, they'll make you, and also it will be very quick. International relation questions, IR questions will not be too long. Like how she asked, it will be like, what will you do? Do you think it is right? Do you think what they're doing is right? It is going to be that kind of questions. If there are something about domestic issue aatre, they'll ask a long question, like what, see, this is happening, this happening, you know that these people are having these opinions, so what is your stand on that? But IR questions will be quick, because they will judge you in your answers. Judge you matlab they'll know what do you think. For example, in own experience, what had happened is, this was the last question of my interview. So my interview went relatively well. I had a good interview. So, sir ask me. So one final question, Keerthana. So back then, US election had happened.
Yeah.
Ours was
Just had happened.
Just had happened.
Yeah.
Ours was post-COVID
Mm.
interview. So sir asked, so what do you think of US elections? Biden had won by then. So Biden has won. What is your take, Anta? So see, now my interview is almost over. The chairman has asked, and all these 4 or 5 people have asked. So mentally, I'm in a very relaxed state. It is done now. I have to just get up and go. And then this question comes. I am like off guard. I say, sir, it is good, sir. I don't like Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? I said, no, I said, it is good, sir. It's good, Biden won. And I think, why? And I said, sir, I don't like Trump. I said that and I knew I have made a damaging statement for myself. So, like, there is no time for you to think in IR questions. You should anticipate questions like this. What will you do?
For that, you should watch a lot of interviews of people on the news channels. What kind of questions they ask these international relations experts. You will get to know, and these and frame a clear opinion of all the conflicts that are clear opinion. If you are against terrorism, against nuclear attack. It should be very clear, be it to any country for that matter.
Yeah. So especially watch RST. Don't watch, you know, this Masaledar TV. Masaledar news. Don't watch it. And what happened? Sir told me, why did you say that? Why did you say Trump is bad? Of course, he is uncertain. You cannot guess what will he do next. But if you see from India's perspective, he's the best president that India has seen with respect to relationship. By then we had got some GSP, that
we got nuclear also renewable. I'm not sure.
And then he was giving us bow for India. So, you know, he said that out of all the presidents that India has seen, he's the best one for us, for India. So what Ruchi said, that see the press releases and see what is the tone of our diplomats and our leaders. You know, bureaucracy, what do they speak? Diplomats especially, what do they speak of these countries? The official statements ಏನಿದೆ, press releases ಏನಿದೆ, ಅದೇ ಒಂದು tone ಅನ್ನ ತಾವು maintain ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. If you agree with that. If you don't agree with it, then of course you have to defend yourself that why don't you agree anta. But, you know, have a clear idea. US and then Palestine ಇರ್ಬೋದು, Israel ಇರ್ಬೋದು, Ukraine, Russia ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
Recent Pakistan, Iran.
Anything for that matter. Have a I think what IR complete ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ 10 hours is enough, even
more than it's more than enough. You just need to brush up the basics, no? I just saw Vijetha. Vijetha, I think I have met you before. I took your interview last weekend.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah. So we were just discussing. So for IR, I was saying, as far as I think, this press releases are the topmost priority. Let's say one more question came to my mind right now is, had you been the spokesperson for, or you had been the external affairs secretary, what would have been your stand regarding Pakistan and Iran situation right now?
Can say attack terror of which Harvard in Pakistan, it's a national global concern. So India is taking a stand against terrorism and not against Pakistan.
True. Yeah. And in that, India has released a statement also recently that we support countries who work in self-interest and who are against terrorism. So you quote the same words and you will fetch marks. Because that is your diplomatic stand. Yeah.
And it makes sense also. See, whoever has made these press releases or statements, they are the ones who have had 20-25 years of experience. And they have seen these countries evolve, and they have seen what kind of menace this terrorism is, or whatever these extreme organizations are. So they would have obviously put their wisdom in making these statements. All we have to do is, do we agree with that or not? If we agree with it, I think we have to stand very strongly with it.
Next question.
Any doubt with respect to IR? Illi yaru Vijetha Sparsha? Namit?
No, ma'am.
No.
Next question, Aditya. Next question with respect to Itra ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು sector step specific.
Ma'am, with regards to an ethical dilemma, for example, choosing between two equally important events, for example, dealing with human trafficking or with a communal situation in a district. So how to choose between these two events, ma'am? How to prioritize?
No, what would be the question of choosing it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Ma'am, for example, in my district, there is a case of human trafficking. And the second
Which
case is with
Just giving a hypothetical situation.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
and the other case is with respect to a spiraling communal tension. So
You
how
have
to
to pay
prioritize
attention
between? Yes,
No,
ma'am. But
both
then
have to be dealt at the same time.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead, please. I will then answer.
Ma'am, so if I had to prioritize between my physical presence is important and if my physical presence is important, then which one should I prioritize in between the two?
First, am I audible, Navneet?
Your internet connection.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first and foremost, you need to ask the interviewer that what is my designation. But just before that, if you start answering the question, that will not send a right sign. Whether you are the SC of the district, whether you are the DC of the district, whether you are the constable of the district, who are you first? So you have to ask what role am I assigned right now, sir or ma'am? So let's say if you are assigned the role of a DC, then as a DC, your major work is delegation of the work. You don't yourself go on the field in the first go. You first delegate, you ask report from your subordinates or the people who are working under you. Once you get a report and the present situation, then you take a necessary action. Let's say for human trafficking. If human trafficking has been done, you first take a report, and on call you will always be available. You say that on 24/7 I will be available on call. First and foremost, I would formally seek a report whether that complaint that somebody has filed is correct or not, and on that basis I will take my next action. So you leave it open ended. You don't close it there and there. So next question, you can invite further questions if there are any. You don't guide them to asking more questions. They will themselves ask more questions if they are interested. Second is with respect to communal tensions. So for communal tensions, you will first go for law and order. That if any law and order situation has already arisen, then I would direct the concerned police officer of that particular area to take a note of the things and give me a report on it. Report on it is not a written report per se, but on the current ground situation, what the current ground situation is. Once you take a report, if it has gone out of the hand, let's say if there is violence, then being an executive magistrate, you will issue an order of 144 under CRPC, where illegal assembly of people is not allowed. 4 or 5, I think five or more than 5 people are not allowed to stay in one particular place. So you will issue an order accordingly and then disperse the crowd, direct the or order the police to disperse the crowd. Once the crowd is dispersed, then we can further take long-term measures of ensuring harmony between the communal groups that have engaged into a communal tension. So for short-term measures, you can decide this. And then you can further go on saying that once the short-term situation is handled, sir, then I will look into the long-term issues also, so that this same issue does not arise. So you stop it there. Then they will ask you what are the long-term measures. Then you go on long-term measures, which we talk about: mediation, talking, peace building between the groups. I think that is my suggestion. Keerthana, what do you say?
See, this ethical dilemmas is a everyday thing. If you see administration, obviously it is not like one issue will come today, tomorrow there will be second issue. And we are supposed to, do all these things at a time. What is that called as multitasking? Firefighting, daily firefighting is the thing of any administrator of any level for that matter. Be it SP, be it DC, be it AC, Tehsildar, anybody. So There is nothing ki this is more important than that. When it comes to the question of life, the question of public morale, the question of nation, then nothing is not important or unimportant. Everything becomes important, everything needs your attention. And the best part is, as an administrator, you have enough number of people. It is not that you should go and stand there all alone. You can delegate. So that shows your leadership skill as well. You will identify. See, let's say there is a tribal, issue in your area. Like for example, Ruchi was in Hunsuru. So, and I was in Mandya as assistant commissioner. She was AC there in Hunsur. So Hunsur has a different issue. It has wildlife and then that animal conflict. And then when it comes to Mandya, you have this issue of water and then farming and then land encroachment, all these things. So you will identify people in your office who can negotiate or who can talk better with these groups. Yeah. There will be a woman officer who can actually handle some kind of Gunda elements or rowdy elements. Because she's a very strict woman and she says, no, idu hagagodilla, ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. They'll walk off. They'll say, okay, madam, now memorandum kotti hogteve. So identifying right people, that you should add in your answer that, sir, as an administrator, I will have many people under my supervision or they are my subordinates. I would have identified their strengths and weakness. Who did not mention weakness. I would have identified their strengths, and as and when the issue would rise up, I would delegate the work according to their strengths.
And personally, I would share an experience. So one person had died due to an elephant attack in Hunsur only. So they took the body and did not let the body go. So, and they're sitting the entire night sit with that body. So you can't let that body be there with them. Otherwise, people will start accumulating more and more and they start creating an issue. Yeah. They're like, we want a permanent solution to man-animal conflict. Otherwise, we will not leave the body. That was their demand. So if in that case, I go there, then more people will start coming. That some person in authority has come. So let us just jump over her. So in that case, I become the liability of police. Yeah. Because they will try to protect me more than controlling the situation. Correct. So you don't have to be in the ground so that you become a liability for other people. Then they should focus all their forces on dealing with that particular situation on ground. And you can obviously supervise from your office.
Always know this. You are not the only person in the district. Yeah. You have a lot of people. You have a lot of ears and eyes in the district as an officer. Be it press, be it NGOs, be it civil society, be it the beneficiaries, be it your own staff, and then police department, the other departments. Everybody will come and tell you. You will be the treasure of knowledge there, treasure of information. So, you have to. You should know that you are the manager there. Okay, so your answer should be more of like, as she said, he give. So now if you think logically also, when you sit there, when you are calm, you can have the short-term measures, long-term measures. If you go there and just argue with this villager who has lost their life, family member has lost their life, even you yourself would lose your calm, no? Like people would start crying. There are officers who have cried looking at the situation. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think that has answered your guys' question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mamta, ಒಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಬಿಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. A table litbidi ಒಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ತಂದು.
I have a question. You said you worked in Mandya as well.
Yeah.
ಈಗ ನಮ್ದು native Mandya ಇದೆ. So in terms of when they ask you what are the issues of your locality or your home district. So we do not have the perspective of how it is on the ground reality. We just say that agriculture issues are there, there are water issues. So how do you tackle those kind of questions, and should we understand the ground realities in or if you can give more perspective on what is the ground reality, it could replicate to other districts also.
Yeah. So this is to everybody. Whatever you have written in DAF, you have to be prepared about it. For example, even Nanu Mandya, I'm in my DAF also, it said Mandya only. I'm from Mandya Anta. And obviously, I've been born and brought up in Bangalore. I did not know what is the Mandya issues. But before going to interview, I went through what is Mandya. Mandya andre yake hesru bantu, Mandavya inda bantu, and what is the importance of Mandya, what are the historical, whatever important places irbohudu, culture irbohudu, traditions irbohudu, adra ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ I had researched back then. But if you see now, any area for that matter, everything has issues to it. It all depends on the geographical condition where you are placed. If in Karnataka, let's say you are from North Karnataka, what are the issues there? First one is, it is not a rain-fed area. So there is this problem of irrigation. Irrigation affects farming. Farming ಅಲ್ಲಿ income ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೆ migration ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So there is migration ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is this issue of education to quality ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು. Overall, your human resource, the quality of your human resource drops. Now, that is the issue that we see here also, no?
Right.
Comparatively, South Karnataka is faring well in terms of HDIs. Because of what? That migration is controlled. You are having a profitable, agriculture is a profitable venture here in South Karnataka, not in North Karnataka. So, analyze issues like this region-wise. You might get a direct question, what is the issue with respect to your district? They might ask, but one solve bit. But they might ask question like, you are from Karnataka. There is a stark difference between North Karnataka and South Karnataka. Why do you think there is a difference? And what is your take on that? And what do you think you should do about it? Now, hidden migration is just one, one streak, but there are multiple shades for this overall situation. So I guess, so whenever, so for example, let's say that I'm from Karnataka and I'm definitely Mandya ide, and I'm school Bangalore alli madidini. So I should know about Mandya, I should know about Bangalore, I should know about Karnataka, I should know about the issues in Karnataka. Let's say Nandu, I would have done my engineering in Delhi. I should also know about Delhi. So, it is a prerequisite condition. And it can be general. I don't think they would ask anything in specific.
I think it's better to ask general. If you try to answer specific, they will think you as too over smart.
Yeah.
Like what's going into very detailed, and then they will try to bring you into details only then. It's better to answer generally so that you get general questions.
Yeah. And you will lead your interview. That is for sure. And always as she said, they'll know if you're over smart.
Yeah.
Andre, see, like what all of us, average age when we go to interview would be between 25 to 30. Ali kutkondiroru 5 jana, and our ವಯಸ್ಸು ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ 50 plus 50 into 5, 250 years of experience, and we are bachas here with 25-30 years, and we don't know. Honestly, we don't know.
It's better to be clean and honest in the interview. I'm telling you, don't try to be smart. Don't try to be over smart. Like if you don't know the answer, you just accept it blatantly. I don't know the answer. I know you must have heard this millions of times by now, but that is the mool mantra for interview. Be very honest. Be very honest with your interview. Like how your interview ended with that question, my interview ended with considering you are a sociology student, tell me who do you think is the most disadvantaged section of the society. So whatever I say, it can be counter questioned. That don't you think that section is? Don't you think that section is? So I always thought personally. So I gave that disclaimer also before that, sir. I know there are a lot of sections which are there in marginalized in our country, but according to me, I think transgenders are the most disadvantaged section because health-wise, or in fact, their identity itself is questioned. So be it identity, be it health, be it social hierarchy, be it economic activities, be it political rights, everything was denied to them till now. But now we are taking efforts of recognizing those rights. So I think these were the most disadvantaged section of the society in India presently. So you always give a disclaimer in the start only. Wherever there's a controversial question, you give a disclaimer that I know there are different sections of society that are underprivileged, but according to me, you always take it on you, so that you don't give a generalist view.
Yeah, and just telling, continuing with what Ruchi said about don't go into specific. For example, actually 2, 3 or 4, 5 months back before elections, the one of the bone of contention in Mandya was Bangalore Mysore highway. The technically madilla, adu madilla, idu madilla anta. If you say, let's say in that Josh ki nange Mandya bagge gottu and I'll go speak about Bangalore Mysore highway, then they might ask, so what is your take? In highway barbeka bedva? Development versus whatever, this thing will start. And now you're in a fix.
After that, they will go for politics also. Why do you think central government and state government are into a fix right now? So you will get into a mess after.
So keep it general, keep it general unless you are an expert in that. If you are an expert, you can go on and on and on. Because you like that concept. No, you have invested your time and efforts in knowing that subject. You are confident, you can go. But they are also, they just want to know that what is it, what is important to you? Farmers, minorities, disadvantaged, women and children, transgenders. Is these the questions which will come first as an answer to you? Or is it highways, industries, land acquisition, encroachment?
Makes sense.
Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's just that according to you, what is the priority?
Ma'am, and with respect to some of the issues like politicization of religion or polarization and regionalism, ethnic nationalism, in these topics, how to handle the situation now?
Generally, they will not take you there. Actually, they will not take you there. They're not there to put you in a fix. But if they do it, you always say religion is a concept that was brought in to bring in harmony between people and communities. However, due to some of the vested interest of pressure groups or political parties or some of the vested interest groups, it has sometimes taken. Extremism is not tolerable. In a violent form, extremism is not tolerable. If it is harming someone else, it is not tolerable. As simple as that. You have to be confident about that view. There is no second thought about it.
See, these issues that you were speaking of, even people who are sitting up there, as I said, with so many years of experience, even they are not able to
answer clearly.
So there is no clear-cut answer. It is all situations. No, you must have read the definition of communalism. What is definition of communalism? That there is a competition when one group thinks I have a limited resource, and if I don't claim it, other person will claim it. Source or increase the opportunities so that everybody thinks, okay, I can go a little slow. I don't have to negate somebody to get this opportunity.
You quoted DPSP, no? That we are all a common brotherhood. We live in a brotherhood society. We want to promote unity, integrity. Use these words. The words you use in ethics answer also. And that is genuinely in reality. That only happens. And I personally believe like that. And ideally, any officer should believe like that.
True.
So if you should always take a firm stand in it, that it is not tolerable.
It is not tolerable. You have to see, for example, there was this one question in KPSC back then, that dowry do death agide. So what is your take on that? It is unacceptable. Ashte mugittu. There is nothing, you cannot continue that conversation. It is unacceptable. But if a lady has done something, no but whatsoever. There are few things which are not acceptable. Ashte. So like that, this extremism irbodu, communal clashes irbodu, violence irbodu, lynching irbodu, all these are unacceptable. If you think like normally also, as human beings, we feel very bad when we read these news. Farmer suicide, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ. Why? Because this is not a, this is not what we aspire for. We aspire for harmony, we aspire for cooperation, we aspire for growth, and for that peace is very important. Wherever there is peace, there is growth.
And don't consider everything with a hidden agenda. Not everything is with a hidden agenda. Some things are as plain as they are.
Actually, we are biased, madam. That's why.
Yeah,
we
that
discuss
bias,
rights
yeah.
because of that.
Yes.
That bias shouldn't be visible to the interview.
Yeah.
That's
And don't worry, even let's say that if you say, sir, with respect to this issue, I think this is wrong, or according to me this is wrong, but iದೇನೋ one current situation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, I am not too sure about what are the perspectives.
it's very easy to say that, and you should say it if you're not sure about any of the opinions that you are carrying. Not sure.
Yeah.
I will read more upon it, sir. I will read more upon it, sharpen my knowledge about it, and frame my own opinion. Till now, I have not been able to frame my opinion on this matter. Ashte.
Yeah. If at all, if you're too uncomfortable
Yeah.
to answer a particular question.
Ma'am, I had a question, ma'am. When asked about something like when you imagine yourself in the shoes of someone else, would you have taken the same decision as they had? Like, ma'am, you had asked me that question, and I felt a little unsettled to answer that question. Like, would you have resigned if I was in place of Sakshi Malik? So I did not want to say that I would resign, but clearly the legal recourse was not working. And me being from a legal background, I did not know what to answer in that situation. So how to handle such questions, ma'am?
So had I been for the knowledge of everyone over here, I was expecting, like, if I would have been in her place, I would have answered that, sir, I would not have taken that that extended of an action right now, because that is the career that I've built over the years, and that is my passion. So I wouldn't have let go of my passion that easily because of the deeds that someone else had done. So I wouldn't have let go of my passion. I would have fought it fiercely for it. So that was the answer that I was expecting, that you would fight for your rights. Even if legal course of action was not working, you do not give it up. Yeah. Some cases are pending for 20 years, 25 years. But that doesn't mean you give up your profession. That doesn't mean you give up your identity. You give up your awards that you have been recognized with. Yeah. So I would have taken a different stand in this matter. I would have still fought for my rights. I would have still continued my struggle. And I would have gathered probably more people in my struggle. Yeah. And then probably would have taken it forward. I don't know if that would have led to a solution, but for
if I'm not able to say that the system is correct, so then why I'm joining here?
But that will lead, if I say that, that will lead to another round of questions. That so many cases are pending in High Court, so many cases are pending in Supreme Court. Why do you think? So I would not suggest you to go to that level. You should just show your commitment to your identity.
And see, these kind of questions is actually, I think it's test of your own personality and character, because it shows that first of all you're proud of your achievements, that you own your achievements, and third thing is you would fight for it. See, first of all, know that not all of them are heard, and when you have a voice, when your voice is heard by many people, then it's better that you stand for them. Just by you saying that no, I'll fight for it, so many people would come for you. And see, as an officer, I'll tell you, I'm sure even Ruchi would agree with it. Every day looks like a disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, and we go to office every day thinking today it will be better. Yeah. Hopefully it will be better.
Yeah, that's the reality. Like nobody told us the reality when we were writing the exam, but that is the reality.
True. Like we go, hopefully, by the end of this week, we'll be like, oh God, we have another 2 days.
Yeah.
We go with that. feeling, because it's too stressful, it is too taxing. It is, sometimes we take burden upon ourselves, but we go with the hope, no? Hopefully it will be better. Hopefully we'll resolve this issue.
And hopefully you will help 10 more people tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that keeps you going.
So this hope, this positive thing, that should reflect in your answers. That just, I mean, I'm not telling Sakshi Malik what she did is wrong. Probably, we don't know her, like what she went through. But for me, I think, looking from an outsider perspective, I think I would still hope for a better system and I would fight for it by having my award.
I think she has framed it better. You first say that you don't know what the situation was with Sakshi Malik. From an outsider's perspective, had I been in her shoes, I would not have taken that stand. If you want to take that stand, you can tell that also, but with proper justification.
Justify your answer.
And for example, if I correlate this example with another thing, let's say if you clear the exam this year, you're posted as an assistant commissioner somewhere and you go through a sexual harassment at workplace. Would you give up IAS just because you were going through a sexual harassment at workplace? You wouldn't have, right? Why? Because you have earned that. You have earned to be in that position. You will not give it. Similarly, Sakshi Malik had also earned it. So I was expecting that answer probably, but if you disagree, you can definitely say that you disagree.
And by giving
one thing, ma'am. So if I would give that answer, I was afraid that it would seem like I'm discrediting her struggle, or I'm saying that maybe.
Yeah, you mentioned what Keerthana had mentioned in the beginning, that I don't know what Sakshi Malik was going through during that time, or you probably say Sakshi Malik, ma'am. What she was going through at that time, probably she had her own struggles and she ultimately felt that that was the best choice for her. But had I been in her situation and with the limited awareness of the situation, I wouldn't have given up my title. So you give those disclaimers beforehand.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, in this year's transcripts, they have asked to, in one of the questions, they have asked to choose between Indira Gandhi and.
Honestly speaking, don't use that word. I did that mistake. To be honest, no. Yes.
Only for asking something, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this year's transcript, there was a question regarding if you want to select between Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Prime Minister Modi, whom would you select? So in such questions, how to navigate this path, no?
We have a question.
One more question from my end. I'm currently working in the state government.
Okay.
So, in the state government, when they ask the questions related to my work background, so and I'm now aiming for an higher central services from that angle. So, how would that go on? Like, is it?
ಇದು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದೇನು ಕೇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಏನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
So my question was, ma'am, what is the kind of perspective that I need to have, ma'am? Because there would be a difference of opinion if there's difference in the state and the central government, right? So, ma'am, right now I'm currently working in the labor department as assistant commissioner.
Okay.
So when they ask any issues with regards to labor, go from that angle, from the social perspective, more of that angle. But from the national level, they go from the perspective of
ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ವೈಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸರಿ, ಯಾವ್ದು ವೈಫೈ ಇದೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
So ಈ difference are how do we manage that?
ಅಂದ್ರೆ your question is differences between central government and
Yes, ma'am. Because since labor laws are the
They
part
come
of
under concurrent law.
concurrent list, yes.
Concurrent list antandre who will have a superiority or who supersedes who?
Okay, ma'am, now
It is always central government which supersedes the state government. But I think my logic between with respect to these concurrent subjects are that a supervision is required, but there is a local flavor to all these issues. So be it for forest is in concurrent, no?
Yeah.
Forest or labor or all these things. Obviously, there will be a local issue. To handle that, there is a freedom, but then there is some kind of uniformity that central government would want in all these things. So per se, that I don't think nimge enadru adu ansidya that what state government is doing is right, but what central government has done is wrong. Anta ansidya particularly with respect to labor
To be
department.
honest, it's the opposite is what I felt.
Okay.
So Andre, in terms of like what the state government actually looks at, it looks majorly from labor issues only, ma'am. They're looking at in terms of generating the revenue. If you are looking at working towards the unorganized sector, so what we're doing is that we are doing it in compartments of the silos. We're working for each individual different unorganized sector workers. But what is the demand from the national level or from the civil society is that look at this from the perspective of an universalization perspective. So you take one central fund and through that you give schemes to all the unorganized sector,
Unorganized.
rather than giving it to each individual workers segment.
So what I would suggest, Andre, see, don't get into first of all, don't get into the state versus
Center.
center debate in whichever topic. Don't get into this. First thing.
Right.
Second thing, even let's say many times what happens, the subject that we fear the most is what comes out of our mouth,
Yeah.
and then they will drag that along. So even if that happens, first, if I were in your position, I would have looked at why Karnataka is doing this. You know, silos nalli enakke work ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Is it appeasement or is it pressure or Karnataka being you know, it has, I mean, any South Indian state for that matter, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ pressure groups ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತವೆ with respect to caste ಇರ್ಬೋದು. In Karnataka, there is this ನಮ್ಮ politics, you know, off the record, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಗಳದ್ದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಟು ಅಪೀಸ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು, or if there is a real logic before, you know, behind it. For example, ಈಗ ಒಳ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Why is it? There is OBC and there would be so many communities into it. But who will take the lion's share of these? The lion's share of these benefits would have been taken by some communities or ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಈಗ ಲೇಬರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಈಗ ಅಕ್ಕಸಾಲಿಕರು ಅಥವಾ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? You know that. So once you know that reason, you can either defend it if you are satisfied. Illandre you can say that, sir, I'm working here, but I'm also looking at the other labor laws that are drawn upon in other countries. One their country nodi, and also India. What India is, I mean, central government is doing, I think it is something that we should aspire for. We should work for. Another, you can nicely give it a rounded answer.
Right.
That idide, nammalli idide, but we are definitely aspiring for something. For example, if you see labor laws of China, it's horrible. It's terrible. So you can always say that even though we are developing and China is already economically far ahead of us, I would never want to have labor laws like that. You know, it's inhuman or whatever. Atra one comparison ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತಾವು ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ. But never ever get into this versus that.
Yeah.
In any topic. Development versus what is that? Conservation.
Yeah. The debates that you don't have answer to, never to get into those debates. Euthanasia. Euthanasia was the favorite topic back then.
Yeah.
Do you support euthanasia? What are your views on it? So don't get into these debates. And development versus the center versus state, it's very sensitive.
Yeah.
Don't get into it at all, because people who are sitting there are appointed by central government.
Yeah.
So be very mindful of that.
Right.
And with respect to these things, no, see, Now, back then we used to feel we are very knowledgeable. To be honest, you don't know, you haven't. To be honest, but then now after coming into service, we know that back then we were very innocent.
Yeah.
We did not know
Anything.
We did not know anything. So even they know that you don't know much. You are all, sitting and studying, Papa, hardworking people who have cleared, these two rounds, and you have come there. You have that benefit. You have that benefit of being innocent.
And I think it's better to show your innocence than your over smart.
Yeah.
Being innocent worked for me in interview for sure. Yeah, it's better to be innocent. You don't have to come across, oh, I know everything. You ask me, I will give you the answer. No, you're not that person.
You don't know. Actually, you don't know. What we know is the monthly compilation of
Vision IAS, Insight IAS.
That is what
that is all that you have studied. That is what I had studied.
Yeah. Yeah, putting the caveat that is all that we have.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am Sparsha this side.
Yeah.
Ma'am, my question is mainly from a preparation point of view. Ma'am, I'm struggling to identify where I'm over-explaining myself and how to cut it short. Sometimes I find myself answering a little too much than necessary. Did you have any tips to identify such things during your preparation, ma'am?
What I can suggest to you, you switch on the video, ask yourself a question, answer that question, then play that video again and see where you could have cut that answer.
Okay.
And when you stretch that answer, when you are going through the video recording also, you see what more questions are you inviting in that answer.
Yeah.
So the longer you answer, the longer you're inviting more questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do 2-3 questions like that, then I think you will be able to cut it.
I did that. As I said, I had this COVID. Yours was post-COVID interview. So, we were jobless at home for 3-4 months during
For
COVID.
5 years.
I mean, that 4 months, so it was lockdown. You're supposed to be, So, I thought if I forget, ನಾನು ಏನು practice ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ UPSC interview ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದು. So I used to. One day I recorded myself. Trust me, I was embarrassed to see myself.
Yeah.
I am doing too much of frowning. I'm doing this. So record yourself. And if you are given mocks, then look at your record.
I still get annoyed looking at my mocks. I still look at my mocks and I like how aspirants might be thinking how dumb was I when answering those questions.
For aspirants, whoever has cleared, they would be like,
No, but you should watch your own interviews that are there.
It's too embarrassing. Because we are tensed. We want to prove that we are the smartest in the lot. We want to say that I deserve this post. I have worked hard for this post or whatever for this job. So we are under pressure. So we usually tend to speak a lot. We usually tend to use jargons. And our body language would be like, we look like a clown, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
As simple as that.
Yeah. So record yourself.
And once you record yourself and once you find your faults, you will become more confident also. Automatically you will become more confident because you know your flaws.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. It's done.
Ma'am, with regard to one question, ma'am, should we look too much into the transcripts that are coming along? Or should we just go?
I don't know. What is
I read each and every transcript, to be honest. And my interview, I think at least I had 6 to 7 questions from the transcripts only.
Okay, great.
I had that experience. Like majority of the economics questions that they had asked me were from transcripts that I had read. So you can just skim through some of the transcripts. If it gives you stress, don't. If you take it as a study material, then you can take it.
I did not watch any. I mean, that was I used to get too stressed out.
Yeah, that's what. If you get stressed.
So it is not just transcripts. I had not seen topper strategy also. Before that, for prelims, means nothing I'd watched because I used to feel so little and I used to feel so dumb.
Yeah.
So I did not do it, but Ruchi has done it. It has helped her. As she's there, skim through. There will be some smart people who want to put such difficult questions, in transcripts.
Yeah.
We really don't know if they've asked that
question or not. So take it with a pinch of salt. But your interview can go any which way. Like I was speaking to two of the people who have recently given interview. They prepared their DAF really well, pura prepare karke gaye, and there's not a single question from DAF. Not a single, not even a tiny question from DAF. They started asking, considering you've given forest service also, tell us about forests. What will you tell them about forest? If I ask you, tell me about law, Vijetha, what will you tell me about law? So it can go any which way. So just factual questions, I think I got from transcripts, but opinion-based questions, it depends on their mood and environment.
And about transcripts, one thing I did, obviously, like most of you would have one particular DAF item which you are not very confident about. You would have entered, but you are not really confident about. So transcript like you search that particular area.
It's very convenient on Telegram now to just search it. No?
So ಆ ಒಂದು area ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ questions ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ answer ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ at least ನೋಡಿ. I did that by the way. So you can do that as well. Like if at all, if you are not going through, or if you're going through like which, then great.
What I feel is actually when we are more confident on our DAF, they definitely feel that okay, they are very much prepared on this. Definitely they will go out.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. When we feel somewhat okay, means not prepared completely, then
Firstly, what they will do is, I don't think all the members have your DAF. Only the chairman has your DAF. So chairman reads out your DAF.
Yeah.
So whatever member or whoever finds anything interesting from your DAF, they will just note it down and then probably ask you a question later. Otherwise, chairman generally doesn't ask from DAF. Whoever is the chairman of the board, they generally do not ask from the DAF, as far as I know. Because they would first take you around, take a round throughout, and then somebody in the last will come with your DAF. That is what I have felt. Could be different in your case.
For me, it was DAF only.
Manish was not.
Chairman was DAF. And as I said, it is something that I was like close to my heart. So it started with a good note for me, since it started with that till the question of Biden.
For me, that are these leaders' questions only. That let's say you're Indira Gandhi. What would have been your response in emergency?
Okay.
Yeah, so they took me like that.
But trust me, you will have great time.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Amazing experience.
Enjoy it. You will never get to have. See, you've cleared.
You give it. No, it's an amazing experience. No, it's an amazing experience.
No
transformative approach.
Yeah. It's an amazing experience. Like I remember getting out of. Have you all watched 12th Fail? It's just like that. When you come out of that interview, it's just like that. You should watch it, Keerthana.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I felt it like that actually when I came out of the interview room. So it's
and last thing, this had worked for me, that before going to interview, watch movies like Swadesh. Listen to patriotic songs. I mean, it worked for me. Seriously, like you go. Like for me, I was all stressed because it was my 6th attempt. No, so it was very, very stressful for me. I was actually worrying about rejection and what would happen, where will I end up, and all that. So when I watched Swadesh, I felt that I'm doing this for the country.
How nice.
Yeah, and I felt so good. I started feeling that, see, I am genuinely want to work for the country.
Yeah.
I genuinely want to contribute. So if you choose me, it is good for me also, good for the country also. If you don't, it is okay. I will anyways contribute. So I went with that kind of, so listen to, I mean, don't watch this too much dhamakedar also. Watch subtle movies like Swadesh and I don't 12th pass if it is good.
12th fail.
12th fail. And watch Panchayat web series.
Yeah, that's a good series actually. That genuinely explains the real life scenario, what happens in the ground.
Yeah.
Panchayat is a good series.
Madam, something I want to add, with opposite of your, actually I watched where I failed in the interview. I know that because of that I lost some marks. I watched Prithvi movie, you know that. So which is about mining. I know that, but the influence is so high that suddenly when they asked what if the politicians interfere and all, suddenly I know that I should not answer, but suddenly I said NGOs are there, that are there, people will invest.
By then NGOs were like
so
2000 ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಯ್ತು? 13th was
Yeah,
all taking another
So
cut.
suddenly I said that I know that is the mistake. So that's why
Film it already.
you should-
Certain ones. That where you feel good for yourself. Feel good movies is Yalva. Where you feel confident. You actually have this love for the country. Where you get up and you get that goosebumps, where you want to work for the country. Where you know that you can make something better. I know this is all ideal things.
No, but ultimately that is the motive, no?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that is the only motive. You want to work for your country. That is
Yes.
the motive ultimately.
Yes.
Personal reasons are aside, but professionally, if you talk about it, that is the motive.
Yes. As she said, every day we go with the hope that okay, another 10 people. We want to help another 10 people out.
I'm
there.
telling you, when you help one person who has not been helped in 10 years, the satisfaction is immense. Immense satisfaction. I was telling Keerthana one story, that story. So
She is apparently there was one person.
it's okay. No, it's okay. I was
No,
just telling that one person, if you help that has not been helped in 10 years, that incident will stay with you for your life. One incident stays with me for life now. So that satisfaction will keep on going. I think I'm done. My quota for motivation for 6 months is done.
No, and like she said, one person you can, and in this position you can help hundreds,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds. So you get that opportunity, and job is great. I mean, setting aside whatever, you have so much of diversity. You get to the exposure is unmatched. So go with that attitude. I am here to give. I am here to do well. Be confident. Don't be super smart. Don't be overconfident. Don't be scared. Don't be worried. It is once in a lifetime experience. I too have faced interview only once.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, once only.
Okay.
I failed prelims thrice.
I failed all 5 times. Horrible, no.
Prelims was horrible.
Yeah. So so it's once in a life. Like even if we want to go there, we will go back to your garden.
Yeah.
So you will not get it. Enjoy that time, that 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Appreciate their knowledge.
Yeah.
Appreciate them. You are happy that you're sitting in front of those knowledge banks. Thank them, thank God, and just let it be.
And you will do well, yeah.
Yeah.
You've cleared mains, you will do really well.
You
don't
cleared
worry.
prelims, you will do
Prelims.
well.
Yeah. You'll do well.
Right?
Okay. All the very best.
Thank you.
All the best.
All the best, all the best. Really want
Thank
to
you,
see
ma'am.
all of you in the final list and
Yeah.
coming to us with the sweet box. Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
I was
you.
just joking. Yeah. We'll be very happy. Yeah. We'll be very happy to see you guys in the list.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All the
Yeah.
best. All the best.
All the best. All the best. Please have and
Thank you so much for
yeah. Thank you.
thanks for helping students.
The light is out.
We're not students anymore.
Ah. There'll be a what?
Future.
What do we call that?
Oh, I feel so
Colleagues. Yeah, you guys will be colleagues and all the very best. Chennai Madi, Aram Madi. No tension illa. And nimge ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡೋಣ. Be a rocket person and you will grow. I think UPSC will help us grow. Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Namaste.